Hey everybody, let's talk about our environment. I want to talk about how entropy affects that, the topic of information, and how we can bring order to these places that we live in. So first up, entropy, helpful to know what that is and to know that we're always experiencing it. Entropy is a law of the universe. It's a law of thermodynamics that states something like high information systems that have a lot of information in them tend to deteriorate over time into chaos. Or systems that have a lot of energy, over time that energy dissipates and it becomes very low energy systems. So over time, things go from a place of order into a state of disorder. And you can recognize that in the environment that you live in, right? You might take your desk, one day you get it nice and ordered. In the morning you get nice and ordered. By the end of the day, it's chaos. When we experience entropy in our environments, that can be a reflection many times of our mental states, our physical states, and what's going on in our lives. So we've got a lot going on. There's a lot we're having to take care of, and our attention is all over the place. That is a kind of a form of chaos, or disorder. And what you'll find is that if you take a moment or you intentionally bring order to a space you live in, into a space that you can control, you will begin to feel that then reflected back into your mental state, back into your physical state. And so this can be a way, it can be a tool for you, a tool of, sometimes it's just coping, and we will sometimes do this instinctively. Now there can be a time where that gets to dysfunctional. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the intentional slowing down and saying, I'm going to tidy my space. I'm going to bring order to my space. I'm going to bring a level of information to it. I'm going to up the level of information through my intentionality so that I can beautify my environment. And guess what? I'm going to start to feel that internally. I'm going to start to feel that personally. So if you have an opportunity to do that today, you should slow down and do that. Now let's talk some about information that segues us some good segues us well to information. So information, we are being informed by things, and we are bringing form and information informing other things around us. As you look at your environment and as you're trying to bring order and information to it, where is that information coming from? Who is informing you? What is informing you? Is it coming from within you, from your soul, from your spirit? Or is it coming from advertising? Is it coming from media? Is it coming from random people out in the world who have lip jobs and boob jobs and whatever, and they're trying to tell you this is what form should be like, and their ridiculous houses or whatever? I would say you should not do it that way. You should do it from the spirit and from your soul and what's meaningful to you, what you think is expressive of who you are. So when you bring that and then you use that to inform your space, it's going to start to create an upward spiral that starts to reflect that back into you as well. And you just do your best. You're like, hey, I'm going to bring some order to this. I'm going to increase its neatness. I'm going to polish this, or I'm going to add in this new thing that I love. I love olive plants, and I've got one next to me here. That brings me joy, and it beautifies my space, and it's an expression of my soul. I love it. And it's an informing process from within outward. I'll recap and end it with this, is that dealing with entropy is something that we have to do as a part of life. Life is negentropic. That means that it is the opposite of entropy. Life is an information system. We consist of information and order. Our DNA is information that moves onward through the future and into future generations. So part of our duty, I think, as living beings is to represent order and information into the world around us. And that, I think, is a part of living life well. Let it come from within you. Let it be informed by you, by your unique look at the world. And then let that, then all that order and beauty that you're creating around you, observe it, enjoy it, and let it reflect back into you. And you'll begin to feel that and feel the happiness and joy that comes with it. All right. Have a great day.